Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back my glorious bannerman to my first online battle for Total War Warhammer, and it is an epic battle for sure. We're fighting in the underways and we're going to go ahead and play with large armies, so we each have 40 units each. This is a 1v1 by the way as well, I should have said that first, against me and Pixi Apollo. I am playing as the dwarfs and Apollo over here is going to be playing as the vampire counts. And hopefully this will make for a really epic battle as my cannons already start picking away at his bats, hitting a few of them down. That's really awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pause it because I want to run through the army comps, and this battle kicks off pretty quickly. So yeah, let's go ahead and run through my army. Obviously, if you want to skip this, feel free to click the skip annotation in the top left-hand corner. That should hopefully bring you straight to the battle. But yeah, let's get through the army comps. So I'll go ahead and press K so I can see what all my units are called because I'm still learning them. I think this as well, this is like my second battle on Warhammer, so I'm going to be very new, especially commanding 40 units. I'm going to be very bad, but it should still look really cool, obviously fighting in the underway. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I have, for my artillery, I have 4 units of this siege artillery, my cannons, 4 units of these bad boys just to put the hurt down on the vampire counts. And I also totally forgot that the vampire counts don't actually have any missiles, so I didn't really need to bring this much artillery. However, it's still going to be really effective shooting at this long straight path. You know, Apollo just has to run to me, and all this time I can kind of abuse that by just shooting him. Then I also have a unit of grudge throwers. These guys are actually a lot longer range than my cannons, so I wanted to kind of abuse that fact and start hitting him from the get-go. Then, for my missile force, I have 4 units of these quarrelers, or 5 units of these quarrelers. Again, a really important unit to the dwarfs, because you can use these guys to pick away at the heavily armored units, as well as hitting the cavalry for the enemy player, which the dwarfs obviously don't get. Then I have a really long line of my dwarven warriors. You can see we're just stretching the entirety of the map from end to end. Just dwarven warriors all the way over to this side, which is really awesome. I love seeing that, just, you know, being able to completely just maximize our strength. You know, I can't really get outflanked here because my line is so long. Also, I have a unit of organ gunners on my right flank, perched on top of this hill to hopefully just pound away at anything that comes close. I also have a unit of iron drakes over here, hopefully burn anything that comes close. Then behind my main infantry line, I have like 6 or 7 units of these longbeards, which again just stretch, you know, pretty much the entirety of the map as well. I just love fighting in the underway. It's just a really suitable position for the dwarfs. They can kind of close off their flanks and really just go in. Then I have Thorgrim, the king, with his Book of Grudges, you know, ready to rally the men. Behind them, I have 4 units of these ironbreakers. Yeah, ironbreakers. And they also have like satchel charges as well, which they throw explosives, which are really deadly. Then I have a Thane on my left flank. Again, all the Dwarven heroes are really good. They give you huge buffs to your men and to the actual unit themselves. Then I have 2 units of these Slayers to hopefully take out the Vargeist and all the beasts that Apollo are going to be bringing. Then behind that, I have 2 units of Hammerers. Again, these guys are pretty good at taking out heavily armored units, so hopefully I can run these guys into the beasts and do work. I also have a Rune Smith over here. Again, he does some really nice abilities. I think one of his abilities reduces damage for like 10 seconds by like 44%, which is huge. It really is big. I also have another unit of Iron Drakes on my left flank somewhere. Oh, here they are. And they actually have the torpedoes in their weapons. Yeah, they actually have the torpedoes, so hopefully I can get some nice hits off on them. So Apollo's army, he has 4 units of these bats. Again, these flying units. Then he has 2 Terrorgeists? Yeah, 2 units of Terrorgeists. Damn, he's 2 of them. These guys are going to be absolute monsters. I'm definitely going to have to focus them down. Then on his left flank, he has a Volgolf. And then over here, he has another one as well on his right flank. So he has one on either flank. Then he has a Necromancer. Obviously going to be raising some dead. He also has 4 units of these Black Knight horses with lancers. Behind that, he has, I think, 5 or 6 units of these Calm Wraiths. I'm probably butchering all these names, by the way, as well, so I do apologize for that. My pronunciation, the more I play this, will get better and better. Then he has some Crypt Horrors. Let's go and just slow-mo it for now. Then he has the Crypt Horrors. Yeah, he has like 4 or 5 units of them. Damn, he is a pretty scary army. But then again, I just have a lot of men down there. A lot of men. Then behind that, he has like 4 units of zombies. And he couldn't really use these guys too effectively in this battle because, you know, these guys are so slow and he just needed to take out my artillery as quickly as possible. So the fact these guys didn't really play a huge part in this battle. Then behind that, he has a bunch of Graveguard with great weapons. And he also just has some normal Graveguard as well. He'll actually just have shields further on down the line. Some more wraiths there. Then behind that he has just, yeah, some Graveguard with actual shields and sword. Sword on board right there. And I'm pretty sure he has another hero somewhere, but I just don't know whereabouts he is. Oh yeah, he also has a general as well. I think he has Manfred riding a Terrorgeist. Yeah, he has Manfred up here riding a Terrorgeist. He looks very, very intimidating. I would be extremely scared if I saw him flying towards me. And then finally he does have a White Knight. I don't actually know what this guy does. I'm still learning what a lot of these actual units and heroes do. But I assume this guy is better in melee, whereas obviously the Necromancer is better at raising dead. So yeah, they're the armies. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the battle. We'll go ahead and click play. So I'm going to start off by just pounding away as much as I can using my Quarrelers and my artillery. And Apollo's going to kind of sacrifice his bats to silence my artillery. This is actually a really smart move. Like, obviously, he's going to go ahead and lose these bats. There's no way they're going to survive. I'm moving Dwarven infantry to go ahead and support them. But, you know, this is silencing my artillery. It's stopping me from shooting, meaning the rest of his army can advance and get closer to me without taking too much damage. So sacrificing these bats is not a bad idea whatsoever. And Apollo kind of makes a pretty good sacrifice here. My organ gun's going to start shooting. Over here is Vampire Bat on the right flank. Also moving up the Iron Drakes as well to hopefully start burning some shit. Look at their weapons as well, just spewing with lava. That's really, really cool. So they're going to get ready to start burning anything that comes a bit closer. Apollo's also going to go ahead and use his horses to go ahead and disrupt me. Again, it's very hard for him to kind of use his cavalry effectively. So again, throwing these guys away is not the worst thing in the world. If he can use them to silence a lot of my infantry and a lot of my missiles, then it's going to be completely worth it. My Iron Drakes are going to start flaming, but then they're going to get smacked down and sent flying by these Black Knights with Lancers, which just crash into my line. Again, he's just slowing up my artillery, which may look like he's just throwing away these units, but it's a really, really smart move. It's kind of slowing up my advantage of my artillery, and you can see how close his army's already getting to me as it's just wandering down the underpass. If we look at the balance of power as well, it actually starts off in Apollo's favor. He actually did start off with 100 more men than me, but that difference is slowly starting to get whittled away as he's moving towards me. That's to be expected. He's expected to lose a lot of men trying to advance on me. Just because I'm going to be standing here with my superior artillery and my missiles, because obviously you've got to remember as well, the vampire counts don't even have missiles, so they're going to be kind of obviously going to lose the skirmish. So a few of these Black Knights are hammering ambush strikes. Luckily my Dwarven warriors have really done a good job. As well as that, I have my Iron Drakes with torpedoes shooting away at the Black Knights. But again, they're going to be turning and getting a really nice charge off on these guys, sending them flying. Wow. They just do not stand a chance. You need to be really careful with a lot of these units. Luckily, my Quarrelers are starting to rack up a decent amount of kills on these Black Knights. And I mean, taking these guys out is really, really important for me, because I don't really have a good way of dealing with them. So every Black Knight I kill is just really, really effective for me. You can see my infantry's kind of messed up a bit. My formation is a bit scattered right now. My organ guns are going to start shooting, hopefully getting another decent volley off. I think I'm trying to focus down his creatures, trying to whittle them down so that they're going to be easy. Because Apollo has a lot of monsters. He has 2 Terrorgeists, Manfred on a Terrorgeist. He has these Vargeist, I think they're called. No, these aren't Vargeist. These are Vargulfs. I'm probably butchering that. So like, he has a lot of these creatures which will just do work. So I need to kind of whittle them down as best as possible. Balance of power is still slightly in Apollo's favor. He's going to go ahead and throw up his zombies to kind of absorb my Quarreler fire for now. which will hopefully give him a decent chance to advance the rest of his army, which isn't under too much fire. But I'm more than happy to start picking away at these guys. I'm not really scared. I'm also going to start retreating my cannon. I've managed to reclaim a bunch of them after that initial assault, and I'm going to be running them back as soon as I can, because these guys are still going to be really, really useful. You can see my flames going out for my iron drakes, just absolutely shredding these zombies, just burning them. But you can see the crypt guys, or the crypt horrors. Again, sorry, like I'm going to be like trying to remember these names for a while until I get used to the game again. But yeah, he's going to be moving up with his calm wraiths and his crypt horrors. These guys are going to be absolute monsters, literally, when they clash into my dwarven line. But luckily, I've kind of gone for a formation where my dwarven warriors are up front, so they're going to kind of take the initial charge and kind of get most damage, and then my longbeards and my more superior units will then rush up. I'm not sure what the king's doing as well. He's kind of just out in front like he doesn't give a fuck. The cannon fire is starting to still shoot. The crypt horrors are now pushing in against my dwarven warriors, which were in my initial assault, and then I'm just going to charge forward all my reserve warriors to go ahead and just jump into this battle. But the crypt horrors should be having a field day here, just smacking away. Like my warriors are not really meant to deal with them, so it's going to be very difficult. There you go, there are the satchel charges as well. That was not very good by me. I killed a lot more of my dwarfs than I did the enemy. So I'm going to be throwing a lot of these satchel charges by mistake, because I didn't even know that the Iron Breakers actually had satchel charges to throw. So yeah, that kind of took me a bit off guard. For sure. So yeah, again, like, there's not going to be any mad tactics in this battle. I'm still very much learning the game. But his crypt horrors are going to start being a real nuisance. He's also got a Terrorgeist down here, along with the crypt horrors and the... Oh my god, look at all the beasts he has on this right flank. My warriors are trying to run and they're just getting chased down by the crypt horrors. I've had to throw in a unit of longbeards and a unit of my slayers over here. But again, my slayers are kind of getting caught up with the graveguard. Oh my god, what a beast. So yeah, my slayers are going to be doing very good against these beasts, these crypt horrors. But again, Apollo just has so many that it's kind of hard to make sure I've hit enough slayers everywhere. Because I only have 2 units, remember, as well. So the line's still going to be going on. I have a lot of men in reserve, which is good. That's kind of playing into my favor. I have my Thane into battle now, and my runesmiths on my right flank. Again, like, another pretty big mistake by me. I keep on throwing my statue charges, and just, like, I need to be a lot more careful with them. But I think that time it did a decent amount of damage. The hammerers are now involved into this battle. They should be doing pretty decent against all the armored units, which Apollo has. But this right flank is just not looking good for me whatsoever. Going to be a huge clash. I think Apollo's actually gone ahead and buffed his men right now. I'm not sure how you actually see the buffs, because it's still kind of hard. I'm still getting used to the oh my god, look at the action though. Just let me zoom out. This is absolutely crazy. Just look at this battle. This is what Warhammer is so sick, just because the huge amounts of action going on. I think Apollo is dropping a spell down on me over here. Can we see what it does? Can we like hover over it to see what it does or not? Yeah, I'm still very much getting used to it. I think that was a debuff for sure. His Terrorgeist is becoming a real problem, just absolutely smashing down my line. I've had to commit pretty much all my infantry now. You can see it, my right flank is really starting to waver. My left flank, again, is still starting to waver. My Slayers are really not in a good matchup. They would much rather be against the Beast than these Wraiths or his Graveguard. You know, they'd be much better matched against the Crypt Horrors. But this battle was full on. I also have a unit of Gyrocopters I completely forgot about. And a Gyro Bomber as well, which I assume has been dropping many an explosive. Shooting his machine gun at the Terrorgeist, at Manfred, who's right all the way up here. So my right flank is actually completely crumbling right now. If we look at the men, Apollo's actually dropping out a lot of men. I have like 500 more men than Apollo, but you've got to remember, he still has Terrorgeist, he has his Crypt Horrors, he has his Vulgars. However you pronounce that name, I'm really butchering it, I apologize. It's like his creatures are really paying dividends as they're just smashing through my battle line, and I'm really struggling to deal with them because a lot of my Slayers just aren't up to the task. Luckily, I still have a lot of Iron Breakers left to kind of meet meet the criteria needed to deal with them. I assume this is another debuff coming down on my men. As the Crypt Horrors just again smash into my men and just send them flying. Oh, my Gyro Bomber has gone down as well. It almost landed on the king as well. Thorgrim is in the middle of the battle, just smacking away down with his Book of Grudges, ticking them off bit by bit. But yeah, the right flank is not looking good for me whatsoever. Again, my Gyrocopters got caught by his Terrorgeist. But I'm not really too bothered by this. Again, it gives me a really good opportunity to actually shoot them down, which you can see I'm doing with my cannonballs and my torpedoes. But this right flank is just not looking in my favor whatsoever. Apollo is overwhelming me. My Longbeards are trying their best. But again, Apollo also has some Black Knights back here as well, which are really just hurting me. Luckily, I still have a few cannons shooting, which are helping me. And I also have these Iron Drake torpedoes, which are going to start volleying into the big portion of Apollo's men on that right side. Yeah, if we can see, they're actually going to start shooting over here, and that's going to be some pretty nice explosions from the artillery. They're going to be doing quite a lot of damage to the Crypt Horrors, and hopefully start reducing their numbers. So Apollo again is going to push down this Terrorgeist into my Quarrelers. Is this my Quarrelers? Yeah, into my Quarrelers. So again, this is really good by Apollo, because it's slowing up the amount of missiles I can put down into his men. And obviously this Terrorgeist is just going to slaughter the Quarrelers. The Quarrelers are good in combat, but you know, at the end of the day, they are a missile unit for sure. Again, my Iron Breakers charging in, along with the Longbeards in support. Got the debuffs which are going down. Here's my Runesmith as well. We haven't really seen him all battle. He's been popping off his runes left, right, and center, trying his best just to rally the men, making it through the ranks as the Iron Breakers are just pushing forward. You know, the Iron Breakers are really, really sturdy. If we go ahead and look at the balance of power again, it's still pretty much in Apollo's favor, and he's definitely reducing the numbers between us, the difference of numbers between us with his superior creatures. But again, never count out the dwarfs yet. I've managed to actually slow up this Terrorgeist really effectively, and it's not really doing too much impact damage. As well as that, I supported my left flank with 2 units of Iron Breakers. We should be slaughtering these Graveguard. They're just not a match for my Iron Breakers, so they should be getting smashed. And then as soon as I've managed to win this left flank, I can completely go ahead and try and reinforce my right flank. Thorgrim is still in the middle of it. He's been in the battle since the beginning, which is pretty crazy to think that he's been fighting for so long. I think he just popped his ground, and he's just going to go charging. Oh, that's so awesome, just charging through so many of the enemy men. I still need to find out, like, how do I know what's been... oh, here we go. Yeah, I've popped the rune of Oath and Steel, which gives me plus 15 armor, I think, to all my units, yeah. Which is amazing, like, 15 armor to all the units just for, like, a toggled ability every couple minutes is really, really good. Oh, that was awesome. The sounds of the dwarfs chanting as I charge into the enemy ranks. So yeah, as you can see, I'm completely winning this right flank, this left flank, but Apollo has completely demolished my left flank. Look at this, just so many dead bodies. You see where the organ guns were fighting. Like, Apollo has just completely overwhelmed this left flank, or my right flank. And again, he's just not slowing down. A lot of these beasts as well are pretty strong as well. I managed to rout one almost, but you know, this one's still full strength. His Terrorgeist is still half strength. I think I actually managed to kill Apollo's general as well, which we actually completely missed. His general, yeah, Manfred's actually over here. I managed to actually shoot him down with my missiles, which really helped turn the tide of his battle into my favor. But again, he just has so many beasts. His cavalry are still becoming a real nuisance. Just picking away at my missile units. You know, if I could use their missile units, it'd really help me right now, because I can start putting down some fire onto these creatures, onto the Crypt Horrors. Because they are just doing so much damage, just sending people flying. Luckily though, by the looks of it, the Terrorgeist is starting to crumble, which is really good for me. I've managed to completely win the left flank, and the balance of power is actually starting to shift into my favor. I have like 2 units of Iron Breakers over here on my left flank, ready to push in. I've got a unit of Korras as well shooting over onto the Graveguard. And I also have a lot of routing men, which need to come back to the fight. Gonna go ahead and pop some of my abilities with my Runecraft. Go ahead and negate 44% of damage. Again, just a huge ability. My Thane and my Runecrafter have done so well this battle. Got some of my Dwarven Warriors smashing into the Terrorgeist, and it's looking pretty good for me now. Apollo only has his creatures left. I've pretty much managed to wipe out a big portion of his infantry. He barely has any infantry left. He's just left with his monsters. But again, these monsters, I've seen these monsters just kill everything. Thorgrim's here as well, trying to defeat the Terrorgeist. As we surround it in the battlefield. You can do it, Thorgrim, I believe. And oh my god. Oh, whoa, what the hell was that? That just knocked everyone over. Wow, what a sick magic. I think that was one of my Runecraft abilities. The Terrorgeist has fallen. Now the Vorghost are starting to waver. And there you have it. The Dwarfs were victorious this day, but this was an extremely close battle. I only have 500 men left by the end of it. And if Apollo didn't lose his general, I'm pretty sure he would have claimed victory today. Luckily, we managed to wipe out his general, though. Yeah, as you can see, definitely a Pyrrhic victory for sure. So yeah, that was an epic beginning battle. I'm still learning a lot of the units and stuff, so my commentary is not going to be super, like, it's not just going to flow like it did on Attila. It's going to take me a while to kind of get used to what all the units are called and what they do, and looking at magic and stuff, but we'll get there for sure. Let me know in the comments down below what what faction you want to see me play as next, and also drop a like and a comment on this video. I'd really appreciate that. If we look at the units, it's really annoying because in 40 vs 40 you don't actually get to see how many kills they got, which really sucks because I want to see obviously who racked up all these kills, but unfortunately I can't, which sucks for sure. But if you see, we actually deployed a similar amount of men, even though I'm pretty sure it said Apollo deployed more than me, but I guess not. I lost 2100 and Apollo lost literally every single person or every single zombie or whatever. He lost every single one of them, which is funny for sure. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next time, and a fish out.